वासुदेवं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदिरे नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वर नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 28th chapter, 36th sloka. Please repeat the sloka after me. So api etaya charamaya manaso nivritya.
So api etaya charamaya manaso nivritya.
Tasmin mahimni avasitha sukha dukha bhage.
तस्मिन् महिम्नि अवसितः सुखदुःखभावे
हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत्
हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत्
आत्मान् विदात उपलब्ध परात्मकष्टः
स्वात्मान् विदते
एतया चरमाय मनसो निवृत्त्या
अपि चरमाय मनसो निवृत्त्या
अवसिता सुखदुःखबाह्ये
तस्मिन् महिम्नि
दुःखबाह्ये
त्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत्
हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत्
उपलब्ध परात्मकष्टः
स्वात्मन् विदते
परमात्मकष्टः
तो अपि एतया चरमया मनसो निवृत्त्या
अपि एतया
चरमया मनसो निवृत्त्या
महिम्नि अवसिता सुखदुःखबाह्ये
तस्मिन् महिम्नि
अवसितः सुखदुःखबाह्ये
त्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत्
हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत्
अन्वितात उपलब्ध परात्मकष्टः
स्वात्मन्
विदधात् उपलब्ध परात्मकष्टः.
They like to chant.
हरे कृष्ण माता
हरे कृष्ण.
सो अपि एतया चरमया मनसो निवृत्त्या तस्मिन् महिम्नि अवसितः सुखदुःखबाहे हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत् स्वात्मन् विधाता उपलब्ध परात्मकाष्टः. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. स अपि एतया चरमया मनसा निवृत्त्या तस्मिन् महिम्नि अवसित सुख दुःख बाह्ये हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयो यत् स्व आत्मन् विदते उपलब्ध पर आत्मकाष्टः.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. सो अपि एतया चरमया मनसो निवृत्त्या तस्मिन् महिम्ने अवस्थिता सुख दुःख बाहे हेतुत्वम् अपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत् स्व आत्मन् विदधात् उपलब्ध परमात्मकाष्ठा. थैंक यू माताजी.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. सो अपि एतया चरमया मनसो निवृत्त्या तस्मिन् महिम्नि अवसिता सुख दुःख बाहे हेतुत्वमपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत् स्वात्मन् विधाता उपलब्ध परमात्मा कष्टः. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone. We'll see the synonyms. Saha, the yogi, api, moreover, etaya, by this, charamaya, ultimate, saha, of the mind, nivritya, by cessation of material reaction, tasmin, in his mahimni, ultimate glory, avasitaha, situated, sukha dukkha bahye, outside of happiness and distress, hetutva, the cause, api, indeed, asati, a product of ignorance, kartari, in the false ego, dukkhayogo, of pleasure and pain, here, which swa atman, to his own self, vidatte, he attributes, upalabdha, realized, para atma, of the personality of Godhead, Kashtaha, the highest good. Translation. Thus situated in the highest transcendental stage, the mind ceases from all material reaction and becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all material conceptions of happiness and joy. At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as their interactions, which he attributes to his own self, are actually due to the false ego, which is a product of ignorance. Thus situated in the highest transcendental stage, the mind ceases from all material reaction and becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all material conceptions of happiness and distress. At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as the interactions, which he attributed to his own self, are actually due to false ego, which is a product of ignorance. Hare Krishna, Maniji Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dharma Pranam. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Forgetfulness of one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a product of ignorance. By yoga practice, one can eradicate this ignorance of thinking oneself independent of the Supreme Lord. One's actual relationship is certainly that of love. The living entity is meant to render transcendental loving service to the Lord. Forgetfulness of that sweet relationship is called ignorance. And in ignorance, one is impelled by the three material modes of nature to think himself the enjoyer. When the devotee's mind is purified and he understands that his mind has to be dovetailed with the desires of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has attained the perfectional transcendental stage, which is the perception of material distress and happiness. As long as one acts on his own account, he is subject to all the material perceptions of so-called happiness and distress. Actually, there is no happiness. Just as there is no happiness in any of the activities of a madman, so in material activities, the mental concoctions of happiness and distress are false. Actually, everything is distress. When the mind is dovetailed to act according to the desire of the Lord, one has attained the transcendental stage. The desire to lord it over material nature is the cause of ignorance. And when that desire is completely extinguished and the desires is dovetailed with those of the Supreme Lord, one has reached the perfectional stage. Uplabdha Paramatma Kashtha. Uplabdha means realization. Realization essentially indicates individuality. In the perfectional liberated stage, there is actual realization. Nivartya means that the living entity keeps his individuality. Oneness means that he realizes happiness in the happiness of the Supreme Lord. In the Supreme Lord, there is nothing but happiness. Anandamaya Bhyasat. The Lord is by nature full of transcendental happiness. In the liberated stage, oneness with the Supreme Lord means that one has no realization other than happiness. But the individual still exists. Otherwise, this word uplabdha, indicating individual realization of transcendental happiness, would not have been used. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So api etaya charamaya manaso nivritya tasmin mahini avasita sukha bhati Etutvam api asati kattari dukhayoryati swa atman vidatta upalabdha paratmakashtaha. Hare Krishna, is the voice clear now? What a message. Thus situated in the highest transcendental stage, okay, the mind ceases from all material reactions and becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all material conceptions of happiness and distress. At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as their interactions, when he attributes to his own self, are actually due to false ego, which is a product of ignorance. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so you put in the chat, the voice is okay. Yeah, so here it is said about how a yogi can realize that our relationship with the Supreme. Okay, so what happens? He becomes transcendental to all material conception of happiness and distress, and he realizes his relationship with the Lord. Okay, Krishna Sambandha. Now, what is our relationship with the Lord? What is our relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Eternal servant of the
Yeah, eternal servants of the Lord. Then, so now what should we do? We are eternal servants of the Lord, and
We have to serve the Lord.
we have to serve the Lord. So we are part and parcel. Yes. So Jivera Suruboi, Krishnera Nityadas. We are always the servants of the Lord. And Krishna himself says, Mameva Amsha Jiva Loke Jiva Buddha Sanatana. We are part and parcel of Krishna. So my hand is part and parcel of my body. So what is my duty of my hand? To take food and put in the mouth, to clean my body. Now my hand has to serve me, serve my body. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna. We should serve Krishna. When we don't serve Krishna, then we are in Maya. We are forgetting Krishna, we have distress. Now, so many devotees came yesterday. So what happiness we got during the festival, we'll never get it. Even if you give 1 crore rupees, you'll never get that happiness. So this is what a human form of life is for. Okay, this Anandamayo Abhyasya, Prabhupada mentions in the purport. This is what our position is. The soul wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. Even take a karmi, he wants to be happy. But karmis are never happy. No, they get first their position will be like, I have to get nice marks to get into college. They get a nice college, then you have to study, and then I get come out of flying colors, and then you get placement in some office. I mean some multinational company. Then what happens? Again, you'll be like, oh, I have to get married. Now that another desire, get married. Then I need a flat to live. Then I need a car. Then I have kids. Then, it just goes on, the material types. Then that person will think, oh, I'll be happy once my children are settled. But again, there'll be problem. Now, the in-laws will come, the daughter-in-law, son-in-law, and again, some problems. No, I'll be happy when I see my grandchildren. Again, it just goes on and on and on. We are forgetting why we are here. No, and did he really get happiness? Now, when after retirement, now when we speak to people like after retirement, they did so many things. They have nice bank balance, good property, nice family, but they sit and think, what did I gain? What happiness did I get after all? Loitering so much. As we know, the power that is parishrama, so much hard work, this pain of home coming, and then there's bandhana, bondage, then there's bhaya or fear. There's always fear in a karmi's life, always fear. Let's take for devotees. Devotees are really happy because they have completely surrendered to Krishna. When you walk alone in a road, you have to be careful. You have to look the right side, left side. Does any vehicle hit me and all? But when you are holding your parents' hand and walking, you can close your eyes and walk, because your parents will never let you get hit by a vehicle. You have that confidence, and the parent will take you to the right destination. But when you struggle alone, if you're doing sense gratification, you forget Krishna, because Krishna is a supreme father, right? It is said the love which our parents are giving is from Krishna. It's Krishna is sending through our parents. Whatever we are getting in our life, it's all Krishna is giving. Krishna is supplying. Ego bahunamiya vidatati kaman. He is supplying everyone. Shri Radha Govind ki jai, Gaurnitai ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So it's Krishna who is supplying. And the soul wants to be happy always. This is one of the Vedanta Sutra says, Arandabayo Apyasyat. Means we want to be happy. Now, the real happiness, it's through devotional service, because that's a real position that we are supposed to serve Krishna. Otherwise, why is a multinational, multi-millionaire suiciding? No, why are film stars and all suiciding? They have everything in life. No, they have money, big bungalow, and everything. But what is they missing? That real happiness, right? But here in the Supreme Lord, there's nothing but happiness. Krishna is full of happiness. Now go to Vrindavan, the gopis are, even though they're complaining Krishna is stealing butter, they are so happy. Because this happiness you'll never get anywhere. Now all of us are experiencing that. Whatever karmi life you go, how much ever you do hard work and get all the things you want and everything, still you miss something. There is something missing. What is that something? Krishna. But if Krishna is there, even if we are living in a hut, even if we don't have anything, we're lying on the floor, still we are happy. Now that's the difference between devotees and karmis, because devotees are always with Krishna, and they know that Krishna is the source of and when we forget Krishna, that's when distress comes. So the transcendental happiness, by nature, the Lord is by nature full of transcendental happiness. Krishna is full of sweetness, right? Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram, hrudayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram, madhuradhipati, akhilam madhuram. So much sweetness. Krishna is full of sweetness. So when you associate with such person, you will also get that sweetness. So, or when you associate with Krishna's name, then also you'll get sweetness. So this is what we wanted. Okay, so that means, but the living entity keeps its individuality. Oneness doesn't means merging into Krishna. Oneness means to realize the happiness is in the happiness of the Supreme Lord. Right? That's why we give a lot of importance to spiritual life, because we know happiness, the real happiness, okay, real. Because in this material world, there is no happiness, so-called happiness. Here, Prabhupada mentions here, it's full of distress. Nothing is there, right? In the liberate stage means we'll understand that there is no realization other than happiness. And in this material world, there's nothing but distress. This is Dukhalayam. You go to Pustakalaya, what will you get? Books. You go to Vastralaya, what do you get? Clothes. Similarly, you go to Dukhalaya, you get Dukha only. Why are we searching for happiness here? It's like searching for water in a desert. There's no happiness. Everything, even if there is little happiness or so-called happiness, it has a beginning and an end, You get an iPhone, and then once it's lost, again, that's sadness. Everything is temporary in this material world, including relationships, right? We know that story of Chitraketu Maharaj. What was the son's name? Does anyone know? In the chat. The son of Chitraketu Maharaj. Chitragauri Maharaj didn't have a son. It was from 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he prayed. He married so many queens to have a son, but he never had a son. As a king, you should have a son. And finally, he got a son. What was his name? Nobody.
Harsha Shogun.
Harsha.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, good. Okay, so at least one person knows. Harsha Shogun. Okay, his name is. So after so many years, he got one son in the first wife. Chitraketu Maharaj got a son. His name was Harsha Shogun. Because actually by destiny, he's not supposed to get a son. But he desired it so much. And finally, Krishna thought to teach him a lesson. He gave him a son, named him Harsha Shogun. Why? Harsha means happiness. Shoka means sadness. So the son will give both happiness and sadness. Then Chitraketu Maharaj is like, okay, kids are like that. Sometimes they break something, there is sadness, or they laugh and make us happy. So it's okay. Children are like that. So it's okay. I don't bother if the son gives happiness and distress. I just want a son. Finally, he got a son. And that time Narad Muni was there, and he got the son. And he was so happy that he got that son in the first wife. So he started being only with the first wife. He ignored all the other wives. Then what happened? They felt so jealous about the first wife. They all planned together and killed the baby. They gave poison to the baby. So just imagine, after so many years, they got a son. and the son is just few days old and died. How will Chitraketu Maharaj take this? He was so depressed and so much sad that he couldn't come out of that sadness. He was into depression. That time, Narad Muni and Angira Muni, they both came and to give transcendental advice, because that's the time Chitraketu Maharaj could accept the transcendental advice. So Narad Muni is like, why are you lamenting? No, because my son died. And he called that soul back into that baby. And the baby got up and asked, then Narad Muni said, see, this is your father. Chitraketu Maharaj is your father. So he asked, which father? Which Janma he is my father? I have so many Janmas. Chatur Lakshani Manava, 4 lakh human form of life. That means we had 4 lakh parents, no? Not only 4 lakh, 84 lakh species of life. Even a cockroach has parents, no? every living entity, no, it has parents. Like it has to take that seed from someone. So definitely we had so many parents, and specifically human form, we had 4 lakh. Do you remember your last Janma's parents? No. They might come as your son, they might come as your grandson, because of so much of desire if they have. But sometimes they might get liberation and go, because somebody having so much desires while leaving the body. Krishna says, whatever you think at that time, yam yam vapi smaran bhavata jittande kalaivaram tam tameva iti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavita. So he had so much desire. I want to see my grandson getting married, and he died. He might come in as a grandson's son or something, or not to see the grandson getting married. Anyway, like somehow related to the grandson or something, he might take birth in the same family. So much attached. You know, the story of Kailash and how Narad Muni kept on calling him, come back home to God, back to Godhead, but he never came back. He was there only in his family, and finally he died, became a dog, became a snake in the same house. So much attached. What happens now? So this is what we think. But then if we think of Krishna, then Tyakta Deham Punarjanmana iti Mameti Sojana, you go back to Krishna. So it is said our mind has to be devoted with the desires of the Supreme Personality Godhead. So Harsha Shogun after that left, because it was time for him, karma, he has to go. So then Narad Muni gave transcendental advice, and then Chitraketu Maharaj took that advice and started doing devotional service. Later on, the curse happened, he became Vritrasura, that's another thing. But then if we forget our relationship with Krishna, that's a product of ignorance. Okay, so happiness and distress keep coming. Here, Prabhupada mentions here that there is no happiness and distress in this material world, right? It is all distress. This is Dukkhalaya, but it's just the mind which is accepting it. So actually, everything is distress. Everything is distress. This is Dukkhalaya. Patam yat vipatam natesha. Every step there is danger in this material world, but still we somehow want to be happy and do a lot of hard work, sense gratification, and finally, if you are so fortunate, you will realize this is not my life. I'm not here for gratifying my senses. Everything is distress. Whatever I do, whatever some of you have already realized, whatever I do to my family, whatever I do for my work, still there's a lot of problems. Distress keep coming, right? But if you do to Krishna, Krishna never cheats you. Krishna never forgets you. Krishna always remember even a minute service which you did. It seems if you did a service in the mustard size, small service, Krishna will take it as a Meru mountain. So much Krishna will see. That's Krishna's mercy. This much service, Salpam Abhyasya Dharmasya Trayave Mahadobhaya. He will keep it. He will never forget it. We don't have to remind Krishna. Krishna knows everything. He's an Ahatas Paramatma. He knows in every Janma what we did. Now everything he knows. So there is only distress here, and the real happiness, if you want, you have to go to Krishna. And Krishna himself says to Arjuna, in Bhagavad Gita, Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkhata Agamappayino Anityam Stamsti Vikshvasa Bharata. So the second chapter, 14th sloka, Krishna says, Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkhata. Like summer and winter comes, even happiness and distress keep coming and going. The example given is, there was a king who gives punishment to the thief. So when he steals, what he do, take a big tumbler of water and push that thief inside the water. So when you're inside the water, you can't breathe. You'll be gasping for breathe. And then he takes him out for a second. Then when you come out of water, then how you'll feel? he'll breathe in. He'll be like so relaxed, he'll just breathe in. But the moment he takes the second breath, again he pushes him to the water. I mean, that's the punishment the king gives, so that nobody do theft in that country. But then if you do theft, then that's the punishment given, and that you will be pushed to a bucket, a basket of water, and then you won't be getting air, you can't breathe. And then he takes us out for 1 second, and you breathe again, you go down again. So this is what this material world is. Always we are in distress. Little moment of happiness, again you go back. Again there's happiness, again you go back. That's it. So Namanishta Prabhu used to say, there is no happiness. Happiness means just cessation of distress for some time. Sometime there is no distress again. So instead of finding happiness in material things, find happiness in Krishna. It's available there. And Krishna is ready to give you. So Shitoshna, Sukha Dukha, as summer and winter comes, happiness and distress keep coming and going. They are two sides of the same coin, just keep coming and going based on our karma. And then what should we do? Tolerate. So here it is said, non-permanent appearance. It's non-permanent, it's not permanent. Appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance. It's like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer. So what should we do? Learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Learn to tolerate. It's very easy to say, but then practically to apply in life is difficult. But what we can do is, whenever we are sad because of so-called material things or whatever it is, just chant. Just chant Hare Krishna, hear Prabhupada's lecture, and Prabhupada will talk to you. Trust me, Prabhupada will talk to you. Not initially, it takes some time. When you start having a relationship with Srila Prabhupada, you should have every devotee in ISKCON, every devotee. You take an Diksha or not, your aspire or shelter, doesn't matter. You're into ISKCON and you're chanting your rounds, even one round you're chanting, or you're reading Prabhupada's book, Prabhupada will take charge of you. Prabhupada will have a relationship with you. But he's there, but you are not ready to associate with him. Then what can you do? He's there in your house as books. He's there as lectures, Vani. But if you're not associating, then what will Prabhupada do? You have to associate. You should take your endeavor. You should. Yashoda Maya ran behind Krishna to tie Krishna. Not that she was sitting simply at home. Oh, Krishna is my son. I don't have to do anything. Yashoda Maya had so many servants. 9 lakh cows. Still she herself churned the butter. She already got Krishna. We are all struggling so much, doing devotional service to get Krishna. But Yashoda Maya already got Krishna. Still she was doing service. Still she was running behind Krishna to bind him. So there were 2 fingers short. One is the endeavor and Krishna's mercy. So we should put our endeavor. Otherwise, how will we overcome, or how will we get Krishna? Right? So we should try to tolerate, we should chant our holy name and associate with Srila Prabhupada. As you keep hearing Prabhupada's lectures, what happens at one moment, we'll realize Prabhupada is talking to you. Something wrong in your life, material, spiritual, something. We don't know. Everyone has their own individual life. Something wrong. And it's disturbing you. You can't share it to your husband. You can't share it to your children, friends, family. You can't share it to anyone. It's inside you. You don't know how to get the answer for it. And you keep hearing Prabhupada's lecture, 100% guarantee I can give you that he will solve that question and he will guide you, and he'll give his guidance. But for that, you should associate with him. Not immediately one lecture Prabhupada answers your question. No. Every day, associate with Prabhupada daily. Then what happens? He will just start guiding you, because he's the pure devotee. And he's an acharya, and he's very merciful. He's very merciful. This material world is para dukkha sukhi. They become happy when they see people sad. But Prabhupada is para dukkha dukhi. He's so much compassion, so much compassion. Prabhupada is always there. There's one Mataji who's training her kids in Krishna consciousness. She don't send them to school, Karmi school. She's homeschooling them. All 3 wonderful devotees. They know full Bhagavad Gita by heart. It's very nice to see how Mataji trains them. Both are devotees. And she said me that the younger one, before sleeping, he has to hear Prabhupada's lecture. Otherwise, he won't sleep. Like this is like, bedtime stories. No, when we tell stories, the children sleep, or some music you play and then the children sleep. No, that boy wants Prabhupada's lecture. If they don't play Prabhupada's lecture, he goes and take the mobile and tell them, put Prabhupada's lecture. Unless he hear, definitely devotee from previous janma they are, but still unless he hear Prabhupada's lecture, that small boy doesn't sleep only. He has to hear Prabhupada's lecture and sleep. Because Prabhupada's lectures or Prabhupada's sound is so strong, that vibration is transcendental. He's a pure devotee. And pure devotee have Krishna in their heart. When I speak, it's just from my mouth. Whatever I heard, no realization, just speak. And when Prabhupada speaks, Kumara Hridaya Sada Govinda Vishram, pure devotees have Krishna in their heart. So when they speak, the speech touches the lotus feet of Krishna and comes out. So whatever Prabhupada is speaking in his lectures, it's not he speaking, it's Krishna speaking through him. He's a pure devotee. Prabhupada's lectures have changed millions of life. Millions of life. Many people didn't meet Prabhupada. Just by reading his books, just by listening to his lectures, they have surrendered. They have completely dedicated their life. How is that happening? This glory. That's the specialty of Prabhupada. So every individual devotee, every devotee in ISKCON should have a personal relationship with Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada will start guiding you. Any problem in your spiritual life, anything, Prabhupada will start guiding you. Do this, do this. Some lectures, when you hear, you feel, oh, Prabhupada's talking to me. This is what I should do. You rewind that lecture and hear it again. One of my senior devotees hears one lecture 10 times because we might miss something. Then hear it, and again you understand Prabhupada is talking to you. But you should develop that relationship with Prabhupada. Okay? And then that's like glorious. Okay, so there is no happiness and distress in this material world, and the so-called happiness, only this distress is there in this material world. But when you come to the spiritual realm with Krishna, there's only happiness. So what should we do? Even if when problems happen in our life, we should continue our devotional service, which says Tattenu kampam susamekshamanam bunjana evatma kritam vipakam kritva papupir vidata namaste jivere mukti pade sadhayapak. So 10th canto 14th chapter 8th sloka says Tatte anukampam, expecting the mercy from Krishna. What should we do? When happiness and distress keeps coming, you should keep doing devotional service. Then Jivedaye mukti pade sadayapak, you become the eligible candidate to become liberated. Not like, oh, today my business is in a failure, or I didn't make any profit, I don't chant Hare Krishna today. I won't chant. Yeah, not like that. Or something happened, fighting between husband and wife, and oh, why Krishna? I'm chanting a holy name, still so many things are bad, things are happening. No, it should be ahituki apradihata. Whatever happens in our life, we should never give up devotional service. Then you become the eligible candidate to become liberated. Like, what is the eligibility of the children to get the property of parents? You just have to be alive. Just have to be alive. You don't have to do anything. If you're dead, you can't get the property. You should be alive. Similarly, we should be alive in Krishna consciousness. Then one day, that's called Asha Bandha. One day, have a hope that Prabhupada and Krishna will take us back to Godhead. We're not sincere now, but at least we started our devotional service. So who are earnestly waiting for you to bestow your costless mercy upon them, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances within the heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Okay, so even if when distress comes, definitely it will come. So because dukhalaya, so when it comes, be tolerant and patiently suffer the reactions. I'm supposed to suffer so much. Krishna made me suffer only this much. Okay, so the reactions are coming, tolerate it and suffer the reactions and still continue devotional service. You become surely eligible for liberation. This is the words from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so and then that's your rightful claim. You become eligible for liberation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. So tomorrow is Vyas Puja. Tomorrow is 1st, no? April 1st. So April 1st is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj Vyas Puja, this appearance day, 74th Vyas Puja. So whoever is aspire, whoever likes to take shelter, or whoever have taken shelter, taken initiation from Guru Maharaj, we have to fast till noon, 12 o'clock. You fast till noon for Guru Maharaj, and then you have grains. And then next day, Sunday is Ekadashi. Okay. And then tomorrow, Prabhu is planning for some Vyas Puja celebration in the temple. Maybe it's there online also. So we'll offer some Vyas Puja offerings to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, we'll ask Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, in UAE tomorrow is the Ekadashi Mataji. So
for you, that is tomorrow is Ekadashi. Then till half day you fast for Guru Maharaj and then continue your Ekadashi fast.
okay, so no need to take grain in that case. Okay.
No. Tomorrow is Ekadashi for you. You can't
Yeah,
take.
that's right. Yeah.
No. Just don't take grains. But Ekadashi only you observe like till half day for Guru Maharaj and then you continue Ekadashi like that.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sometimes Varaha appearance also we did that. It was Ekadashi, so half day we fasted for Varahadev and then continued like that. So some places it's Ekadashi tomorrow, some places it's day after tomorrow. Hare Krishna Aishi.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, in some lecture in morning class, you mentioned regarding perfume that one should not use the perfume of the market because it has some alcoholic ingredient in that. So what if someone is not able to be away from this habit of using the alcoholic perfume? What should one do? Because there are so many things we read and we cannot follow everything, every line. What should we do, Mataji?
Yeah, so this is very particular when you take Diksha initiation because some perfumes have alcohol content in it and we don't use it. So instead you can get these Narasimha oil, the scented oils are available that you can just rub, and even that is more nice smell than the normal perfumes which stays for just few hours. With Narasimha oil you offer to Lord and then you can apply and use from Mataji. So many flavors are available, jasmine and so many flavors it will be available. Okay. Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Kodi Vaishnavanda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone. So Prabhu was saying that the marble came to our temple and then the painters came. So everything is going on full-fledged. Please pray, all of you, please pray to Radha Govinda that our temple should be completed as soon as possible, and so you all can come. So please pray, because when all of Krishna, then Krishna can't reject it. So please pray so that our work goes very fast. Okay. Hare Krishna.